our youth forum this day. We are glad that you're watching. We are glad that you have been consistently following us and getting blessed with our forums. Our prayer, our desire, our objectives are that these sessions shall be a blessing to you. They shall challenge you to be the best person. They shall equip you. You shall get some skills. And more so, you will be challenged to thrive and to shine. And so our previous sessions was about relationship with parents. We got amazing feedback from parents and also from the youths on how we were able to help them think through and navigate that barrier that is between children and or other young people and parents. And so today we have a guest who is going to share his story. His story basically to means who is he, where he is, and where he's coming from. And more so is going to share some of the things that he did that helped him to be where he is, and maybe some of the mistakes that he did that he felt either he got some lessons here and there and probably should not have done them. Because again, I believe that the people that have walked ahead of us, they are there to share the experiences with us so that we don't make the same mistakes that they made, for our own good and for the good of our society and community. And so that's what also we say in the youth ministry. It's mentorship, because if you have a mentor, then they will work with you, they will guide you. They not necessarily dictate what you have to do, but they act as a guide. And so Ronald is here with us. You can reach out to him if you want him to be your mentor, or rather to work with you when it comes to business, when it comes to basically life in general. And so I pray, and our desire is that you'll get blessed, you'll get transformed, you'll be challenged through this session for the better or for your own good. So before we start, let's share prayer. Lord, we thank you for this chance that you've given us. Thank you for giving Ronald an opportunity to be here with us today during this forum. I pray that as he shares his story, it shall be a blessing to people. I'm also praying for our viewers, Lord, that you may bless them, that God, you may enlarge their thinking capacity and their reasoning for the glory of your name. We pray that this shall be a transformative session for people, for young people, for the glory of your name. It's in Jesus' name that we pray and believe. Amen. 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 So Ronald is a managing partner of Ronald's LLP. It's an audit firm and offers advisory services within East Africa. And he has a story from where he came from in terms of education. I heard about his story and I was so amazed, because sometimes there is a danger of getting to know one side of the story. For example, if you see him, you may think that he was born like that, you know, or he didn't struggle setting up his company or some other few things that he's going to share with us. But it is always important to know both sides of the story, to understand where the person is coming from, because where they're coming from also dictates how they work. Sometimes you may think he's extremely hardworking, but you also don't know where he's coming from. So Ronald is here with us to share his story. And so, karibu sana, Ronald.
Thank you.
We are happy to have you.
Great,
Kindly tell us who you are, where you're coming from, what do you do?
Okay, thank you. As you said, my name is Ronald Bwosi. Currently my position has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm now the group managing partner of Ronald's in East Africa.
Ah, great.
Yeah, until 31st of July, I was the managing partner of Ronald's LLP, a role I've played for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been great. I'm a career accountant by profession.
Okay.
I've practiced audit, tax and advisory services. I hold an MBA in strategic management and a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance. I'm a CPA, certified public accountant of Kenya, and a CS, among other trainings. So I'm 38 years old now.
Yeah.
And it's been remarkable for me mentoring people into the profession. And I've been lucky, at least at this level, to practice for over 10 years in this industry. Yeah, I was born in Vihiga.
Okay.
Yeah, a place called Vihiga in Vindisi village.
Vindizi.
Yeah, in this village.
Okay.
And I grew up a normal life, like a young guy, attended primary school. And after high school, I did some business. I started,
After high school?
yeah. I started selling bread on a bicycle from one shop to another. And that was kind of very transformative
Yeah.
in my life. And
Yeah.
it introduced me to the aspect of understanding how money works in a young person's life, and really how to mobilize resources and make money
Yeah.
from the available opportunities. Yeah, so from there, that's when I left that business. I went to college and studied, and then worked very briefly, actually, for less than 5 years. Before
That
now.
college, just to cut you short, was that the time you did CPA?
Yeah, after I left now high school, that's
Yeah.
when I did CPA.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so when I finished CPA, I did my degree, and I got a job, but I worked very briefly
The degree was in?
in accounting and
Okay,
finance. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, worked very briefly, less than 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I left now to practice accounting. Yeah, one of the things that really shaped my career is one, not getting a good job. Of course, I never got maybe most of the time what people call a good job, maybe in a government institution or in a blue chip company, you know, the likes of Safaricom,
Yeah.
EABL, and all that.
Yeah.
Getting small jobs that were not fulfilling to me was a great incentive for me to venture into practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially in 2008, I joined a colleague and we formed a company called Sublime Concepts when I left my employment. So up for 2 years we ran that company, and in 2010 that's when I formed Ronald's and Associates initially.
Okay.
With just few employees. Actually, I was alone that time. Then my colleague Noah joined me around 2011, and that's when we have spearheaded the company from a one man company to staffs to almost 100 staffs team.
Currently, we
Yeah,
are 100.
currently, yeah. So for me, I think it's been remarkable. A wonderful growing business from scratch up to where it is. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
When you are doing the business, the bread business,
Yes,
how
yes.
much are you making per day?
That was nice. Actually, my salary per month was 1,800 shillings.
From the breads?
Yeah, when I used to sell bread, because I used to sell
In
bread.
Vihiga?
Yeah, in Vihiga.
Okay.
A small factory there, bread factory that was there.
Yeah.
Manufacturing company that used to manufacture bread.
Yeah.
My salary was 1,800. And I remember on the first month, I was paid negative 3,000.
Where did the 3,000 go to?
You know, negative 3,000, it means
Yeah.
I broke most of the cookies because I wasn't very meticulous in handling cookies on a bike. So when I was riding, taking the cookies to the shop, now they all broke.
Yeah.
And in a week's time, I was only having broken cookies.
Yeah.
But until maybe the first month, second month, I mastered how to be very good at handling the cookies that are very delicate.
Yeah.
And at least I got 1,200 in the third month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the first month, out of my salary of 1,800, I got negative. So meaning I owe the company.
Yeah.
So I was to repay the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you taking the cookies that were broken?
You know, when you break cookies when you're working in a bakery, you're told to go with them at home.
Oh, so
and
you
are
go and
charged.
eat.
Yeah, and you are charged. So actually, you owe your employer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your first formal employment?
The first formal employment I got is when I finished college. I was an accountant at General Industries.
Okay.
It's a manufacturing company. And about a period of 3 years, I rose to be the finance manager. Actually, that was a very speedy rising, but I wasn't patient enough to work for those many years. So that's when I left the company. Yeah.
How much were you earning?
I was
Like the
earning-
first month, the first few months?
I was earning like around 40,000 shillings when I got employed. But initially, before I joined General Industries, maybe it's a good thing I explained to you how I entered into practice. One of the things that have never happened in my life, I've never tarmacked to look for a job.
Yeah.
Because immediately I left college, I went and I was employed by an audit firm.
Yeah.
And my first employment letter was written, you have employed as an audit trainee, but your salary will be zero.
No pay.
No pay.
Yes.
Because you will learn. I don't know how many young people can take that particular
I have been in such a
appointment.
situation.
Yeah, actually, I thought that letter to be very barbaric, you know,
Yeah.
and brutally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I spoke to my brother who told me, you know what, experience is much better
Yeah.
than money. Getting the knowledge, the work experience
Yes.
is very important. Of course, sometimes later I got an alternative offer to work as a storekeeper, but thanks to my brother, he told me, no, continue building your experience
Yeah.
so that you can just get experience in the right places.
Yes.
It's only working up in that audit firm for more than for a year.
Yes.
That's when I got now to work in a manufacturing company as an accountant. Yeah.
So you worked for 1 year without pay?
Without pay, zero.
Was it in Nairobi?
Yes. It's in town, and I used to trek, you know, from Kangemi to town.
So you were living actually in Kangemi?
Yes. Yeah. I was living with my brother that time.
Yeah.
I used to trek from Kangemi to town, and I know weekends my feet will really itch.
Yeah.
I was feeling so much pain in my feet, you know, trying to build up, and at lunchtime you will only take maybe one banana, you know,
Yeah.
with some green tea or some turungi, strong tea, just to keep you moving. So I've had a share of that particular place. So when I see people going through those places, I really respect, because that is the roadmap to growth. Yeah. So I think that was actually a very good record for me. And I will always look at my colleagues whom we left college with, you know, who had some good jobs, maybe in the banks. You know, when you go as an entry position in banks, you don't pay such low salary. Actually, you are paid a remarkable salary. And you know, or when you are working for some of the blue chip companies in entry positions, actually they used to get better pay than I do. And I just used to envy them, because they were, you know, renting very nice apartments.
Yeah.
They had nice clothes, suits, you know, the shirts.
Yeah.
While my shirts were torn, you know.
Yeah.
And because I was just still trying to build up experience. But that is where I got the transformation and the passion to be an accountant. I really got grounded into the expertise that I required for my career progression. Yeah.
So you tarmacked for a whole year, like really like walking to and fro.
Yeah.
You were not feeling like pressure and
no,
like, were you not feeling like it's taking long, you know?
Yeah. Of course, that feeling is always there. It was not a very, very pleasant journey to walk with. Sometimes you'll ask, really, why me? Where are other people so blessed? And you know, for me, I've just been doing this. I'm not getting anything, any pay, and all that. And it wasn't very pleasant, but I kept up the faith, just continued doing that, and really got to know what I was supposed to know at that foundation level, which I believe most of the young people I've interacted with, they don't want to go through that particular learning process. But it's very important. If you want to know where you want to come from, when you're going, and you want to know where you want to specialize in, it's important that at that particular level, you build that experience. So for me, that 1 year was very, very transformative, and that's what set the pace for me. Yeah.
So at that particular time, after 1 year, what happened? Did you apply for this other job?
Yeah, no. In the same company, there was a guy, an old guy who was in charge, a senior, who told me there's a job. They are looking for somebody who has worked in an audit firm to be the accountant. So that's when now I got the job now in Australia now, as an accountant. So they were looking for specifically somebody with experience in an audit firm. Of course, they were looking for 2 years, but when I did the interview, they were like, the MD was so impressed, and I was hired. And the first time I got a salary. So that's how it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this particular time, you're still at your brother's house?
Yes, that's
so what point did you move out?
After 3 months. After salary of 3 months, I went and bought a mattress.
Yeah.
I went, I rented a house at this place called Bottom Line.
Yeah.
I rented a one-roomed house.
Yeah.
And I was just sleeping on the floor, you know, the mattress for a couple of months before I bought bed.
Yeah.
You know, I bought sufuria, all
Yeah.
that. With my almost my second month salary was just trying to move out. So after 3 months, I was out, and I was happy that I'm just alone and though broke, but alone with.
No, you can't say you're broke. You're earning 40,000.
Yeah, but you know, not very. You know, you spend all the money on buying those household items. Yeah, but that kind of freedom. That's the time I realized, no, I can do it on myself. Yeah.
How much were you paying your house that time?
I was paying my house around, was it around 4,000 shillings? Yeah, 4,000 shillings for a one-roomed house. Yeah.
And what about the rest? How are you using the other money, like 30 plus?
Okay. Let me tell you, since I got my first salary, I've learned to save. Actually, I opened an account with my Sacco, Mwasibu Sacco, and I used to pay. And 2, I learned to give tithe and offerings to the church. 3, to give to my mother.
Yeah.
I've never defaulted my mother, whether I have money or I don't have money.
Yeah.
I will always send something to my mom.
Yeah.
From my first salary. So with that, with the other expenses of food and all that, the whole budget, but I made sure that I was saving. Sometimes I see people saying, oh, I'm earning so little, but I started even saving when I was earning lesser than most people are earning. Yeah, so I learned to save from that particular. I will always save everything that remains after I pay, I give, after I buy my household items. I will save it in a circle. Yeah.
Did you have an objective of saving, or you just wanted to save as you get a clear picture?
That time I didn't have, of course, that time the objective of saving was not to do investment.
Yeah.
It was saving to buy a TV. I will save, at that time when you buy a TV, you become so broke, I will save to buy a radio,
Yeah.
buy some music system to entertain myself when I'm so low,
Yeah.
Yeah, I will save to buy a suit for myself.
Yeah.
And some shirts and all that.
Yeah.
I was not saving for really a main cause, to buy property and all that, but just to buy myself things that make me happy. The basics of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I used to spend my money.
It's interesting. Sometimes we can look at you and think, Ronald was all strategic from the word go. You couldn't save to buy a clothes, or you couldn't save to buy a phone. So you were just like us, so when you were kawaida too,
Yeah, no, I've grown through that, this place at the bottom line. Yeah, I've eaten sukuma really for long, to afford the nyama that time. It was crazy. So it's just sukuma wiki, day in, day out. Yeah, but maybe I just tell you something that really, really was transformative also. At the age of 6 years, at the class 6.
Class 6.
In primary school, something transformative really happened also to me. One day, when I was growing up in the village, and when you're a young person in primary school, you always have some admiration. So the people you admire in the village, and based on the things you like. And that time, I used to think the richest man in the village was a shopkeeper. Because I used to wonder, how can a shopkeeper have all those things and he's just, satisfied? He has bread, soda in the shop. He has, all those things. And, I used to say, then when I grow up, I want to be a shopkeeper. Because I'll have sugar, bread, soda, the big one, and, mandazi. I'll have cakes and sconge.
Definitely the things that attract children,
So I used to really admire that. And one thing is, when I was doing business education, I remember my teacher took us to the nearest shopkeeper. It was a guy called Ndekwandi. That guy had started his shop, and he didn't manage to finish school. He dropped up early and started his shop there. And so our teacher started interviewing the shopkeeper, how he began, with the capital he requires and all that. And for me, I was watching and I was seeing, really, even this shopkeeper is so blessed that even the teacher has taken time to recognize him and interview him. So after that kind of interview, because we went there as our own class, and it was a class session for us to move around the school and see people who are doing business and interview them, how they began and all that. So that time I told myself, even for me, when I grow up, I want to be a shopkeeper. Because who is this guy that has everything? And even our teacher recognizes that particular power that he has. So that really made me convicted into wanting to do business and wanting to really pursue business courses up to that. So that's when it started. That was how the fire began, when at that particular level. I
From
started
seeing the
pursuing
shopkeeper.
business courses, and I was lucky in high school. I pursued also accounting from earlier courses and all that. So that what actually shaped my career now into accounting and business. Yeah. So when I got employed, I started having that, and then now when I was in when I finished high school, of course, when I was selling cakes and all that, I discovered a way to make money very easily. So I realized that the price of sponge, sponge, when you go to buy sponge, a packet, that time it was selling for, a packet sells 25 shillings, but the shopkeeper sells it at how much? At 30 shillings. So he makes a profit of
5 shillings.
5 shillings. So I remember there was the guy in the manufacturing said, okay, fine. There's a competitor who has come up in Kisumu, so we need to lower our prices from 25 shillings to 23 shillings so that we can remain more competitive. So the price was lowered. But for me, because I was the salesman, I didn't lower the price. I continued selling at 25. So meaning I used to make a profit of how much?
3 shillings.
3 shillings. So I will go convince the shopkeepers to continue buying. And because I have learned to make very good relationships with the shopkeepers, they will buy still at 25 shillings and not buy from the competitor. So I used to sell 3 shillings times the number of packets that I buy. I sell, that is what gives me my income on top of my salary. Because remember, that was not part of my salary of 1,800 shillings. So every day I will compete and see how much do I sell. And so if I sell 100 shillings, I have 300 shillings. If I sell 200, I have how much? 600 shillings. So I used to have that drive. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to go and sell, because I used to say, if I sell, I have to maximize now the number of packets.
So the company lowered the price,
Yeah.
but you didn't lower.
I didn't lower the price.
Were your sales affected?
No, my sales actually grew because I was motivated by the 3 shillings.
Yes.
I make over and above my salary.
Yes.
So every time I'll go and sell to the shopkeeper, I remove my 3 shillings, I return the money to the company.
Yes.
So here they are saying, Ronald is the best salesman that we have ever had.
Yes.
But I'm also making really
Yes.
a lot of money. And I don't have a bank account. And you can imagine having 30,000 shillings at Ushago, and I don't have a bank account, and the money is just stored in my school box. Yeah. So that taught me some money. That made me fall in love with money and how to make money.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I could afford to go and buy a very big bread and just eat. The things that motivated me that time were basic. Like having a very big bread. Then I will go to Kisumu, buy fish, and just eat, and then I will buy some T-shirts that are written here, Rambo, that was quite impressive, because I will afford those things.
Yeah.
But what that did, the classic story and the story in the market, it helped me to understand how people make money without necessarily getting employed. So I was wondering, then I got out of school, went to college, got a degree, and then here I'm being paid the same way, the same money that I used to make
that time
when I was not educated. So that nostalgia is what made me now quit my employment to business, knowing nowhere to go. Yeah.
And at this time, how is your faith? How is your relationship with God? Were you born again?
Luckily, I've been very lucky. My life has been actually godly since I was born again when I was in Form 1.
Form 1.
I've been the CU chairman from Form 2 to Form 4. I was the CU chairman of school in high school. And I joined, even I came to Harvest when I was in Standard 8. That is around 1998.
So you have been here?
I've been in here. And nobody used to know me in this church. I used to come and just sit at the corner there with my notebook, write notes, and go.
So you are not even involved in so much activities in church?
Yes, of course, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was one of the thief of the message.
Yeah.
I used to steal the message and go and implement. So I remember the messages that were preached by like Pastor Mutula about the book of Luke chapter, about the Zacchaeus, those messages when I was so young and really
long time.
listening to them, and those really inspired me. So I've been born again throughout, and God has really been ordering my steps, you know, in all circumstances. Yes.
So up to this point that you are now working in this manufacturing company,
Yeah.
is there a period or time that your faith was shaken, or you felt like you are not on the right track, you felt like you are losing it?
The time I quit the company, something happened to me that, and I said, now I need to quit and start business. That was the most difficult time of my life because I was still very young. And you know, ordinarily, in African society, you're supposed to work until you are 60, and then
you retire.
you retire and go now into business.
Yeah, you think actually about business.
And do your own thing. So, you know, people will ask me, Ronald, what is the problem with you? Are you okay? Even I remember one guy came and counseled me. And I didn't have so many friends, you know. Even some of my siblings, they were like, no. You cannot just get a job. We have really struggled to take you to school. We have been supporting you. Now you have left employment. It seems you are a lazy man, you know. You don't want to work.
Don't want to work.
This nonsense of you want to start your own business is very bad. And I remember for almost 4 months, I was having a very lonely time.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to make up in business, trying to get some clients and all that. It was very lonely, by the way. But and I remember even I didn't have money for rent. I was almost kicked out, but I've never been kicked out. I remember I paid my rent with coins.
Oh, really?
So it was like I managed to get 3,998 shillings. You know, I cleaned the house to pick any coins to pay the landlord so that.
So for just a minute, for the 5 years you stayed in that house.
Yes.
Well, and you got some promotion, or and your salary increased by?
Yeah, my salary increased. My salary had increased to about 70,000 shillings there. As a finance manager, you know, that time they were not paying so much. That's the time I quit now. Yeah, the employment. That's the time I quit the employment. And most people are like, Ronald, if you didn't like working with these Asians, why couldn't you look for a Mzungu job, you know?
But you had an inner drive. You knew what you wanted.
Yes.
Okay. So even after getting your salary to 70,000, you still didn't move.
No,
No, some of us, our salary, we get 25,000 from 20, and we're already out of a single room to pay now 10,000, you know.
Now, when my salary grew now, I started building a buffer of the cash now to get out of employment. So when I realized I can afford to save like 100,000, I realized this is the time to move. Yeah, but starting a company, it drained all that. All those savings, all of them went to drain. Yeah, so I didn't have anything remaining from those savings. Yeah, but I didn't like wanted to get ahead so very, very fast. By the way, for your fact, since I got employed, gotten the first salary, I have never lacked money. I've never tried to this trickster of things, getting money from people. It has always been even trying to live according to my means. I've always been self-sufficient. Yeah, however little you have, you can fulfill yourself with that. You can meet your needs with that. So I was very good in trying to budget and make sure that this is what I have, this is what I've spent, this is the remaining, this I'll save. I'll keep it for a rainy day. Actually, I will lend even when my salary was at 40,000. I will even be the one to lend people money.
And then people have this mindset that Ronald does a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that was the perception. Yeah,
because I'm thinking even if you can't manage your 30,000, you can't manage 1 million.
Of course you can. You have actually to start managing the small thing. If you're earning 20,000, work within 20,000. If you're working within 10,000, work within 10,000. The strategy should be for you to know how, if you want to increase your way of living, how do you then increase your income? It should not be that you want to go out and get more money. It's for you competing yourself. How much money can you make? You can only consume as much as you can make. Otherwise, if you try to spend more than you can make, then you're getting yourself into financial trouble. And that's the challenge for most people, because we want a big iPhone, you know. I just bought my iPhone recently, you know. And people
even
saying,
after being your own boss for 8-10 years.
Yeah, I just bought my iPhone recently, because that time I wanted to just buy it when I can afford it. Not when I'm trying to borrow loans and get the even now I don't even understand these things called what? the branch and all. Yeah.
Those are apps.
Yeah, it's a way because people now, and currently people, you can get money from everywhere. There's a Mshwari, there is Fuliza, there's branch, and all that. Those are tools of improvisation. If you try to borrow that money and consume it, you're setting yourself up for trouble. Yes.
Okay. So what I'm getting from Ronald is that it's passion that made him resign.
Of course.
It's passion that even when people around him were telling him that he's making the wrong decision, it's passion. He had an inner drive. Like, this is what I want. And he had a strategy for that. He had a plan for that. He knew what he wanted. He just didn't quit and then started sleeping in the house. He had a plan. And I'm getting to understand that when you are having a plan and you know what you want, nothing can really limit you. Because we can see his decisions really were around what he wanted. In terms of, he didn't move out to a bigger house. Instead, he decided to save up because he had a long-term goal. Even when he was getting into this farm, the audit farm, he knew he's not going to be employed for a long time. And so he started, he had a plan. And so as young people, we need to have a plan. We can't just live aimlessly, like whatever comes. We just live. And then the second thing I'm getting from him is that we have to live within our means. How do you live in a house that is 10,000 whereas your salary is 15,000? I mean, you'll keep on borrowing. You'll be a friend of Tala, Mshwari. Actually, there's some people that I know that have Mshwari loans up to around 15,000. And when they get their salary, the first thing is just paying the Mshwari, then they borrow again, and that's the kind of.
And something besides the plan. Everybody has an instinct. That's what I had. I had an instinct, a very powerful instinct that guided me in terms of my decisions. It was not merely based on the plans. Yes, there's a plan, but you have interest. Everybody has instinct. And if you are connected with God, the Holy Spirit guides you in every decision that you make. So sometimes even the plan might not be clear, but do you have the instinct? The deep conviction that this is the right way for me to go. Actually, I got confused. Even 3 months, I was looking and like, did I really make the right decision? Did I? Because with the outcome of things is not very pleasant as expected. There's a time I almost gave up. There's a time I started casting and Ronald, I'm educated. I have papers. I've been good at what I do. Why am I now jobless? I'm now trying to plead with the people to give me business. And I almost gave up until one time I came here and Pastor Ben was preaching and said, don't give up. And I took up on Monday. I had started the business, the office. I was just like getting so depressed. Business is not coming by. 3 months, I don't have money to pay rent. I'm like saying, really, I better now make up my CV again and go look for a job. But I remember that message he preached, and it was very awesome, around 2009 there, that made me feel like, no, I need to keep up. And it had reached a place, even I'll go to the office with a T-shirt. That life of giving up. You sleep even until around 9, 10. You go to the office with a T-shirt late. You look at some things, things are not looking up, You are so depressed, and you start relaxing, you even not brush your shoes and all that. But when I had that message, and Pastor Ben was very clear that you have to wake up to the assignment, and on Monday I took my best suit with a shirt and put on, went to the office very early in the morning at 6. By 7 I was in the office making calls. On Tuesday I received a breakthrough. I got a deal that actually changed my whole life forever. I got one job that will pay me a salary for more than 12 months if I was employed. So it's only that there's always the low moments when you quit and all that. But so long as you have a plan and your instinct is right, things will show up.
A plan and instinct.
And instinct.
And more so, you have a relationship with God. So you can't go wrong. God is with you. The Holy Spirit is guiding you. Because sometimes God will not give you a clear plan. He'll not tell you now from here, he'll just give you the confidence, the assurance, and he lets you go through. And that doesn't mean you'll not have the low moments. You'll not feel discouraged. But where do you draw your strength? When you're pursuing your purpose, that thing you're passionate about, that thing you want to achieve in life, where do you draw your strength from?
Yeah,
Where do you get direction from?
Yeah,
You know, like for him, he had Pastor Ben, you know, and we really thank God for our pastors, because sometimes they don't know who they are speaking to.
Yes, yes, yeah.
If Pastor Ben was just preached to you, that was fine. Here you are.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
transformed your life,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And so you're there, you don't go to church, you don't even listen to preachers, you don't have a mentor, you don't have anyone to walk with you in this journey. Who speaks in your life? Who speaks into your destiny? You know, where are you getting that strength from? And so if the only thing you have is maybe a group of friends, your age mates, because I believe your age mates could not understand you that particular time.
Yeah, of
You
course,
know, you needed a higher authority, someone who is higher than you.
Yeah.
And so it's a challenge to us. Where do you draw your strength from? What about your instincts? Can you trust your instincts as a Christian, as a young person? Ama uko vile mi sijielewi, you know, that's what most of us say. Mi aki ati sijielewi nini naendelea kwa maisha yangu. No, you can't be like that as a Christian. And so Ronald, here you are, you've quit, you've started your business, you're now setting it up.
Yes, yes, yes.
Tell us about employing staff, getting young people to work with you. What are the challenges that you've really felt when you're trying to onboard your staff, especially young people?
Yeah, young people are the most blessed people
Yes.
we have in this country so far. I always say that every child that is born, he has a message from God. And you better listen to him and pay attention so much and see what message does every young person bring on board. My greatest learning experience is when I interview people from school. Actually, I learn a lot through interviews because I get free education and all that. But the devil fights young people oftenly and tries to distort their plans and even mess up with their talents and skills and divert their attention and all that. So that's the biggest challenge, a lack of purpose, like really not being able to understand what is their purpose in life. That's the most important thing. Because I see most people, maybe I recruit people, I train them, I think they're on the right career map, and then tomorrow, maybe after like 3 weeks, because they want bigger money, instantly they have quit, they have gone to that company. That company does not offer them the skills they require. If I open my emails, I'll show you people writing to me, regretting that they left the company.
Yes.
Prematurely.
Yes.
Because they say, Ronald, I just hope that I remained in the company for some time. I would not have been where I am today. And for me, I saw talent with them. I try to give them in a position whereby I can nurture them. But they give up so quickly. They don't have a purpose sometimes. But the few that I've known, there are also some very young people I've mentored. Of course, now all of them are my partners. Now I have like now 6 partners. Yesterday I was installing another one as a partner who we've been with for the last like almost 8 years.
Yes.
And she's done remarkably well.
Yes.
But others also have quit. They have gone into better positions. But there are those who left prematurely, whom thinking that this is not what they're supposed. They need money more than the skills. It has turned out very badly for them. So the biggest challenge for young people is, and when you're recruiting them, is do they have a purpose? Do they know what they want to accomplish at the end of the road, you know? And are they committed to the learning experience that they're having? Or you'll start benchmarking with your friends and realize they seem to be doing much better than you and quit and all that. And we say that the grass on the other side looks almost greener. Yeah. And they're looking at the grass but not looking at the process of becoming and all that. So most people want to have things, but they don't want to go through the process of learning. The 1 year, no salary, tamarking to the office and working and getting experience was a very, very critical process for me to learn. And I always want to remind them. Another one wrote to me and say, Ronald, you know, that was your time. And you know, and you know, for me, since it was very painful to work without a salary, I never recruit people and give them zero.
Yeah.
I always say, no. The basic thing, you need to have lunch, you need to have fare.
Yeah.
Basic one.
Yeah.
But you'll find most of them will tell you that was your time. What can a young person do with the 20,000? What can a young person do with 30,000?
Yeah.
I need money, you know.
Yeah.
I need to be with my friends. And you know, you've grown up in a place whereby now most of the young people, especially in Nairobi, are given things with their parents.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that is not even, if actually maybe even your pocket money was bigger than your salary. So that is the biggest challenge with young people. But the young people are endowed with great talent. It's a great resource for this country, for this world, you know. But then you need to harness that in a very strategic and proper way, and they need to know what is the purpose and pursue purpose at all costs, and everything will follow. Yeah.
So it's purpose, pursuing your purpose at all cost.
Yeah.
Because again, talent without purpose is a waste. It will mess you up. And that's why we call ourselves microwave babies. We just want to get into a job, get paid a lot of money, move from that 1 bedroom or to 3 bedroom, and then we start driving big cars. We are not ready to be equipped, to be skilled for the next level. Because I reminded of Joseph, who became the leader, you know. Suppose he didn't go through that process of being molded, you know, the family like rejecting him, going to Potiphar's house and then getting all those temptations and running away, you know. It was a process. And I'm thinking we as young people sometimes, we are not patient with ourselves. We have purpose sometimes, but we don't want to gain the skills and work with the right people. And so what Ronald is saying is that we are lacking patience, if I can say. We are lacking it. And we need to be patient with ourselves so that when we are getting into those jobs, when we are pursuing our purpose, trying to get those contracts here and there, we have an objective. Like, this is what we want to achieve, and this is what we want to be at this particular time. You know, and so as I mentioned earlier, we have a benefit as Christians because God will not allow us to go astray. God will not allow us to fall. He will guide us. And so some of you, I know you are not into maybe employment, or you are not looking into getting into the job market. You have some other, you are an artistic kind of person. You want to pursue music, you know, dancing and such. The standards are the same. There must be a process.
There must be a process.
There must be a process, and you have to get the right skills for you to match that level that God is taking you. You know, you have to go through that stage, each and every stage. And when you get people who are willing to work with you, people who are willing to hold your hand, like you get an opportunity to work with someone who is very skilled, hold on to them, whether you're getting money or not. I think that's what Ronald is saying. Because once you lose that opportunity, I'm not sure if you're going to get it. Ronald, do you, when they send you those emails, do you get them back?
I initially had a principle is that once you leave,
you just leave.
You leave,
Yeah.
But for now, I've started saying, okay, we can look at it. Depends on how did you leave.
Yes.
Yeah, some people live very badly.
Yeah.
When they realize that it's no longer making sense, when they realize that they want a better thing, and maybe you've gotten another opportunity somewhere, you just want to even dump this person.
Yes.
And move.
Yes.
So it depends on how do you live.
Yeah.
There are those who will come and say, Ronald, I'm leaving, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going, but let's keep up there.
Yeah.
You see, those ones, once they have a problem, I tell them, okay, you go. But once you have a challenge, you come back.
Yes.
Because this is your home, and I've spent a lot of energy training you and helping you out. We can always accommodate. So it depends on how did they live.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the relationship that you had before they left, which really matters. Actually, our relationship, for us to succeed, you have to have healthy relationship. Up, down, across, with our parents, with our friends, with our bosses, you know. It cuts across.
And I always tell people, even my staffs, currently I'm working for even somebody I worked for at the beginning of the stage. My client, my first employer is my client today. My first employer.
Yes.
So it means I didn't live like through everything. Had to, even I gave a notice period. I had to serve the notice period. I have to do what is supposed to be done. Have to listen to my boss as I give up. So the challenge with people, they like breaking relationships. And sometimes I wonder how people are so, you know, they are so short-sighted that they think that so long as you're no longer my employer, I don't need you. I'd rather just move and go on. So breaking bridges very fast. But you see, as you're growing up, you need relationships. You need to know people. You need to, you know, you will need everyone as you go up. Because when I established my company and they set up, I say, no, I can do for you this. And then my employer was like, yeah, I trust you. You did a very remarkable job for me. We'll give you business. We'll support you. So can you go back to your employer for any help should something happen? Yeah. You know, the people say that the world is a small place. Yeah, you'll always, what comes around goes around. You'll always need the people that you step on. Yeah, so I always tell people that I know so many companies that use people in terms of not paying them well, but use people. But also I know so many employees who use their companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so long as that salary is not forthcoming, you think that company is the worst that you have ever seen. Or your employer, because he's not doing this, you don't need them. Currently we have COVID-19. How are you able to remain loyal to where you work in spite of you're getting money or not? Are you able to keep up the faith, to buy into the vision and support that entrepreneur that employed you? Yeah, so it's a journey. Yeah.
And sometimes we as young people, just the way you have said, once we are done with you, we are done.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll never need you in my life
Yeah,
again.
of course, yeah.
Actually this phrase of you should know people, I think it really works.
Yeah, of course,
In
yeah.
our current generation, it
Yeah.
really works.
Yeah.
Because if I know you know someone, and you
Yeah.
know I have a skill,
Yes,
it will be very easy for you to recommend me to that person.
Of course,
You know,
yeah, of course,
if
yeah.
you have maybe a dancing group or a singing group,
Yeah.
and you know of there is an event, you will get referrals, you know.
Yeah.
And so, Ronald, what's the last word you'd like to tell people in a minute or so?
In a minute, and talking to young people,
Yeah.
I want to maybe just give some few advice to them.
Yes.
And some few key things.
Yes.
And 5 key things. I will use maybe I'll borrow from what you call Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes.
And Donald Trump, the book they wrote about
Yes.
the Midas touch.
Yes.
Or the getting a mark of fineness in whatever you do, and trying to inculcate the principles of excellence in everything you do. So I give them 5 principles that you need to do, coming from the hand.
Yes.
The 5 fingers that you have.
Yes.
And the first important thing you need to do is the thumb finger, which is the most powerful, because if I hold this glass, the thumb finger is on its own.
Yes.
Meaning it's so strong. So may you be able to develop emotional maturity and the
Yes.
strength of character in whatever you do. Emotional mature is about the decisions you make, the choices that you make in life. Are you emotionally mature? Are you able to accommodate people? Are you able to use what we normally call the sound mind principle in decision making? And then are you also a person of strength of character? Are you somebody who people can trust on, can depend? Are you dependable? So that is very critical, emotional maturity and strength of character. And then the other finger, which I will explain, is the pointing finger. The pointing finger, are you focused on what you want to achieve? In spite of the challenges, the things that look so shiny, the shiny objects, are you able to remain focused and steadfast in what you are doing? And then the other finger, which is the tallest finger, is among all, you must be outstanding in what you do. If you're a singer, can you be the greatest singer that we have ever had? If you are an IT person, can you be the greatest IT person that you ever had? If you are an instrumentalist, it's actually having excellence in whatever you do, outstanding in whatever you are doing. If you are an accountant, be the best accountant that you are expected to become. If you are a marketer, can sell what you're doing.
Yes.
Do it like it's your job, you know. If you're a pastor, whatever you do, have
excellent.
a mark of excellence. Be outstanding. Stand above the crowd. Be unique in your own sense. And then the ring finger is relationships. And when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about relationship with God, relationship with the other people, and relationship with yourself. Are you able to relate with yourself? Are you be able to relate to other people? And the relationship means being truthful to everyone. Develop a very, very truthful relationship with God. And God, I always say, by the way, if you're not born again, it is very difficult to have a very sustainable living and growth, because God guides us. Sometimes I always say every decision I make, every step I make is ordered by God.
Yes.
I always wonder what it will be like if there is no God, because I will be very wrong in every aspect. So God is very critical in your growth stage and guiding you and all that. And then the smallest finger, I would want also to tell the young people that small things count. Small things count. Brushing your teeth every morning, brushing your shoes, cutting your nails and your beards if you're a man, unless you want to be a prophet or with very long beard. it's very critical that you remain very neat person, and you just also learn to tell people sorry, thank you,
Yeah.
and a spirit of gratitude. Small things really matter and are critical to our success.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is what I want to tell to the young
Yes,
people who are
yes,
listening today.
yes.
And I feel so blessed to have time to talk to them. I hope that another opportunity will come again when we'll have also to share
Yeah.
this particular conversation. Otherwise, thank you so much, Brenda,
Yeah.
and the technical team for this invite. It's been great, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much, Ronald.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing and pouring your life out.
Yeah.
It's very important to us,
Yeah.
so that it equips us, it makes us become strong,
Yeah.
and know actually that we're on the right track, even if we are facing the challenges. Just
Yeah.
as you've mentioned that we should not ignore anything, and we should be very keen. It really helps us.
Yeah.
And thank you for honoring the invitation.
Yeah.
We look forward to having more interactive sessions.
Yeah.
And for the viewers, we pray that you'll find it very important and apply the nuggets that you have got from this platform. You apply them in your life so that you become a better person. Remember, we always say mediocrity is not part of us. And we always say that we are oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. So God and people will see, or rather people will see God's glory through ourselves. So till next time, stay tuned and God bless you. Thank you so much.